telling all Flock members, if you want to become truly elite, for just $1 a month, you too can become an elite bad bird. Check out my Patreon account. Link is in the description.
Hello there, my flock. Badraven here in the Badraven's nest, and we're going to do a review tonight of the Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. As you can see, we are in the Badraven's nest tonight, and we are going to watch it first on the big screen. I'm not going to be able to show anything to you guys as far as the movie going, but we are in here in the nest, and I'm going to go ahead and watch the movie before I review it, just to get it freshened up in my mind. I want to be able to get a good fresh look on it, you know what I'm saying? I've got the big projection screen out, if you can see behind me. 50 inch of heaven. Me and Andrew's our own theater away from the theater display, I guess you could say. We watched the smaller one here for the regular movies, and we watch for the mega big time movies on Blu-ray. We put on the big screen to watch on occasion, not all the time, but we love the projection screen, and I am very proud of it. It's an awesome system. We got the projector over here. I'll show you it. You got the projector up here. You see it? And of course it projects all the way over to there, and it makes a very beautiful picture. It's high def, 1080p, everything you would ever want out of a theater. It's like I told Andrew, when we watch it on this movie, on this projector, on the screen, I feel like I'm at the movies. The best thing about it though, when the movie's over, I don't have to go and get in my car and drive home. I just can go jump into bed or whatever I want to do. So it's cool. I love that part of the aspect. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the movie out of here, out of the big collection. Here it is, Friday the 13th, 12 film of terror collection, complete collection, Blu-rays. Set it down, go. Here we go. Anybody need change? Got a lot of change built up here. You open up the tin, get the puppy out of here. They're doomed. They're all doomed. It's crazy, Ralph would say. We flip through the book and find part 4. Aha! The only thing I dislike about this set is they're all two of them on the same disc. And I love this actress. Her last name's Voorhees too in real life. If I can get this done with one hand, this would be great. Sorry, Jason. Don't mean to pick your nose here. Alright, get the film out. And here we go. Part 5, The New Beginning, and Part 6, which is coming very soon on the marathon after this review. We'll close it back up. We'll take the movie over to the viewing screen. We like to be able to. The light's kind of dim in here. I'm sorry, Flock members. We'll open up. Which player should we open up? Which player? Which player? We got the Panasonic here. The HD DVD, HD DVD, which is out of major print. Let's go down here to the Sony and let's turn it on and eject this puppy out. Set the movie. We want it nice and straight. And we put it in. Okay. Alright. Got to do a few more things. Hold on just a second. Okay, we're going to go up here and we're going to take the cover off the screen. And we're going to power it up here. Maybe. I'm getting very old here. Cannot see stuff on this crazy screen. Let's see what we got. Turn the other TV off. That's what we need to do. Don't need both TVs running. You see, we're getting a little screen pop up. Turn the surround sound on. Let's see if we get us a picture that we won't get copyrighted for. See my shadow. Me and my shadow. Alright, we're getting something. Maybe. We got an hourglass, that's what matters. Like sand through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Aha! Turn off a little light here. There we have. If we can see that. Friday the 13th. Floor 5 and Friday the 13th. Got all my head in the way. And get over this way so you can see a good picture of it. Part 6. It's all revved up. I love that big humongous screen. Get a backup picture here. Like to see it. Cool. Looking good. Looking good. Just off from the arcade. We got her up. Got to say, let me go ahead and do this. I don't know if I'll show up on it or not. We're going to watch this. We're going to see what we got here going on. We're going to put this thing here. I probably look like the same color as the screen. I forgot about that part. But we're going to play part 5. And we're going to do a review right after the movie's over, so we can give you the most accurate review of tonight's showing. So sit back and wait, and I'll be back momentarily to start the review. So we'll see you on the flip side. Bye. We're back. I just got done finished watching the Friday 13th Part 5 on my projector screen. And it looked tremendous in my Blu-ray quality. I don't even know if I've actually watched on the collection, the Friday 13th, that particular one. I probably have, but it looks super blown up on the projector, which is a 1080p projector, so 1080p print. So it looked the best I've ever seen Jason Friday 13th Part 5 look. Or should I say Roy, since it was an imitation Jason. If I'm leaving spoilers out there, I'm sorry, but it's common knowledge to all the Friday the 13th fans. With both of them being on the same disc, I was kind of worried. See how they put both of them on there, Part 5 and Part 6. That would hurt the quality, but I was pleasantly surprised that it didn't. Actually, it looked really, really good. Hardly any grain. It might have been a little bit of grain, but you know, for the year it came out in 1985, and to look that good, yeah, 1985. To look that good, kudos to the transfer. Paramount usually doesn't, which is done by the WB, so. I don't know if they got a new transfer for it, but it looked really great. I can't even imagine it looked any better in 4K, but the colors, everything looked really good. But besides that, this continues from Part 4, the final chapter that we just did our review on. Jason has been killed by Tommy. Tommy has pretty much sliced him up and diced him, and he's been gone for like 3 or 4 years. In the synopsis, it said he's 15, but in the movie, he looks like more like he's 18 to me, 17, 18, or it's supposed to be that time period. But in the synopsis, it says 15, so in the basic story that I saw on the internet, that's what he's supposed to be. But the events have been at least 3 or 4 years past the time of Part 4. Tommy is, as you know, or had killed Jason, so not exactly. You know, with that kind of trauma in your life, you're gonna be messed up. So it kind of opens up. The really cool scene at the beginning I really liked was that it opens up with Tommy at the same age as he was, basically, at the end of part 4, walking through the woods, and it's raining and dark and stormy, basic scary movie stuff that you like in these types of movies. Really like the way they filmed it. He gets to the grave of Jason. He's standing over his grave looking at him like just kind of curious if he's still in the grave. And here's two people coming from out of the blue, so he comes and hides. And it's two grave robbers wanting to see the main man, they said. So they dig him up, and of course, Jason is just waiting for somebody to dig him up. So you don't understand, because in part 4 he was pretty much hacked up, so you don't know if this is a dream sequence or not. But so Jason does his thing, stabs the two guys, gets up, sees Tommy, which is still played by Corey Feldman in this part, goes over there to kill him, and he wakes. When he starts to bring down the machete to kill Tommy, he wakes up and it's a dream, and he's in the back of a van going to a halfway house called Pinehurst, where they deal with children who have traumatic events and stuff, or trying to get them back ready for society. So that's how we get the opening of the movie. You see the Friday the 13th logo, and you see the new mask with the blue chevrons on the side, which at the time when I watched this movie, I don't think I watched it at the movie theater, but when I watched it on video, I didn't even notice that they were different chevrons, with Jason being with the red, until later on when I started really getting into Friday the 13th. Then I understood what that meant. It was a totally different Jason. The crowd reaction to this movie wasn't good when it came out. See, everybody loved the part 4, and then part 5, they knew they wanted to do a follow-up, which I commend Paramount for trying to do something new with Jason. I think that this is where the part of the series where it went wrong. I love Jason, and I'm not saying that I didn't like the other movies with Jason in them. I'm just saying they could have really breathed a little life into the genre of the slasher movie with him having Tommy take over for Jason. But nonetheless, let's dive into how they've got to this point in the movie to even give him a chance to be that way. See, Tommy is mentally deranged or almost mentally deranged from the events of part 4. And he's a teenager, and they're taking him to this halfway house, like I said, with other kids with problems. So that's just a recipe for disaster, especially in a horror film. It's going to go from bad to worse really quick. He gets there. In this movie, the actor that played, let me get some of this out of the way before I go into the whole thing. But the actor that played the grown-up version of Tommy Jarvis was John Shepard. And I've got nothing against his acting. He does a great job acting. They don't give him hardly any lines, but with what lines he does have, he definitely nails the emotion, the confusion, the problems, the inner problems inside his psyche. I think he does good with that. And this was directed by Danny Steinman. He was more known for sleazier type movies before he made Friday the 13th. I don't know if you'd say pornographic, but maybe close as you can get to it without being pornographic. And so when I got him, it was kind of a very strange pick as a director. But, they didn't really, they just liked to kind of stay on an even keel with their directors, I guess, and they give directors a chance, I guess. Danny Steinman his directing abilities. It looked visually good. It looked like it was well funded as far as the cinematography. The actors were really well. All the actors across the board, I thought, were really well acting. Did well in their acting. Nothing that was wrong. It was just his kind of, which a slasher movie, you're going to have your sex, drugs, rock and roll, I guess you could say. They have to have that in every movie. And the 80s was a big time for this. In the movie you see cocaine, you see marijuana, all that, and you have very, very. You have a lot of scenes with nudity, or at least what you normally see in a slasher movie, and that I was a teenager, so I really didn't get offended by the nudity. Put it that way. I know it's Family Channel, but I'm just telling you the truth. Because I was a teenager, a boy, and that stuff didn't. I mean, that made me want to like the movie even more. So that's where I stood with that situation. But his style was a little more sleazier at the time. I didn't bother. It didn't hurt me. I mean, I still don't think it's that bad now because I really, at first, I didn't care for the movie that much, except for the scenes I mentioned, because I was a teenager. But I thought later on I appreciate it more. It's kind of like Halloween 3 for me. After you watch it later on in your life, you get what they were talking about as far as what they were trying to go for with the Jason character, the Tommy character. But anyway, I think Steinman did a very good job as director of this movie. It's one of my more favorite Friday the 13th movies. Even though a lot of people at the time when the movie came out, they didn't like it. That they found out at the end of the movie that Jason was the Roy the paramedic was the killer, and it wasn't Jason. And they felt kind of cheated that Jason wasn't in the movie technically, even though he looked just like Jason, except his chevrons were different colors. And he didn't have all the goofed up eyes and stuff. That was a dead giveaway later on. After I watched it, it would show his eyes looked perfectly straight. And Jason's was always kind of off kilter. So people kind of resented that and thought that it was a ripoff because they wasn't getting Jason. But nowadays I think they should have understood, but that was a different time. Getting back to the movie, Tommy gets to the place, the Pinehurst. And he's not his very talkative self, of course. He's been through a lot. You get introduced to the other characters. Let's see if I can make a rundown of them here. The director of the center is Pam. She helps run the place with... you got the grandfather, George, who works in the kitchen. He's got his grandson, Reggie the Reckless, to contend with. He's taking care of him, or at least he's visiting him at the place. I don't know why you would have him there at that kind of a facility, but that's neither here nor there. You got other people in it. Vic is the volatile punk rocker, I guess you could say, at the place. The compulsive eater, Joey. You got Robin, a goth, Violet, and the shy, stuttering one, Jake. All are these other kids that are there with the Tommy. Plus, you got the nymphomaniacs, Tina and Eddie, that are always doing what they do in a horror film. Which has some very, very good scenes for the film and with the stuff. I noticed with this movie, a lot of the kills take place off screen. You'll get ready to get up to the point where, Jason's getting, or Roy's getting ready to kill somebody, and he does it, and then you just see an expression or something, then you see the aftermath. The MPA must have been really hard on them for maybe giving them an X rating or something. So they did a lot of stuff where you didn't see it on screen, you just seen the aftermath. So I noticed that a lot with a lot of the kills in here. Even though the kills were really inventive and cool, they just, I don't know if they were going through a phase with the MPAA where they try to cut all that stuff out. So I noticed that a lot. So Tommy meets all the, he meets most of them at the halfway house. The two people running this is the doctor. The main doctor is Matt, and the director of the place is Pam. We kind of just go over who's in it. You got Joey is Dominique Baraska. Robin is Juliet Cummings. Eddie is John Robert Dixon. Young Tommy is Corey Feldman, of course. Violet is Tiffany Helm. Pam is Melena Kinnaman. Ethel is Carol Lochtel. Jake is Jerry Pavlin. Reggie is Shavar Ross. Tommy, the adult Tommy, or teenage Tommy, is John Shepard. Junior is Ron Sloan. Victor is Mark Venturin. Tina is Deborah Voorhees. Like me, a little Deborah Voorhees as Tina. Love her in this movie. And George Vernon Washington. Roy is Dick Wiend. I can't pronounce his last name. And Matt is Richard Young. Like I said, Tommy gets there and he's introduced to all the characters. And it's not very long after, well, he goes upstairs, Tommy does, and he meets Reggie. Reggie tries to scare him with a spider. Tells Tommy, brings out all his masks that he had from part 4 and scares the baloney out of Reckless. So kind of make a connection there with those two. It ain't very long, then we see Joey, the halfway house, and he's very mentally challenged. He's overweight, and he's trying to, I guess, fit in with the girls and all the other people there. And he's out trying to help with the laundry and stuff, and he messes it all up because he's got chocolate all over him. And he goes up to Victor, which is cutting up wood. And it was a very bad thing to. Know why they gave Victor? He's so hostile. Seemed like in this, or Vic, in this, he's so hostile in the whole movie, and they got him like with an axe chopping wood. He's using a backhoe and all this kind of stuff earlier. So they must really trust him to work out his anger issues, and he sure does. Because when Joey makes him mad, he stabs him with an axe, where, axes him in the back, cuts his arms off, all that good stuff. But, of course, it's off screen. You just see reactions, and then you see the bloody corpse. Well, they call the ambulance in, and, of course, Roy, the paramedic with the other fella, come up there to pick up the body. The other paramedic is a very sensitive guy. He just laughed and said, "Hey, get your hands dirty, Roy. You're going to have to get your hands dirty here." And then Roy sees the body, and it's his kid that nobody knows at the time when this is first happened that is his kid that's at the mental institution, and that nobody knows who his father is. So Roy gets very, very emotional. I guess in that scene, I guess he gets, shock on his face. And to now that I know of the whole story, you can pretty much tell, they let you know really quick that he is the killer. Later on, we see two people broke down in a vehicle, Pete and Vinny, and they are trying to get their car started. Needless to say, a killer comes up. You don't see the killer's face. He ends up sticking a road flare in one guy's mouth and then slitting the throat of the other. So we have a serial killer on our hand. The sheriff is pretty much sure it's Jason Voorhees come back to life. The mayor doesn't believe him. Said his job's on the line if he doesn't find out who killed him. You get that going on. You get some very good kills. I'm not trying to go into every kill of this movie, but you get some very good kills. You have some very strong sexual scenes, especially in the woods with the Tina and Eddie out in the woods. One gets the girl gets her eyes, protruded with a, guess you call those, like hedge clippers to the eyes. And Eddie gets a strap around his head and tightened up. I guess it crushes his skull. So you have a lot of kills. Before you ever see who the killer is, you never see Jason's or Roy's face until later, very late into the movie. You get to meet Reggie's brother, Demon, and you get to see Tommy in an altercation with another character, and he runs off. I do like the way they tried to take this movie in a new direction. They tried to take the Tommy situation and make him be pushed over the edge. And with the ambulance driver, the paramedic, with him taking on the persona of Jason to get revenge on his son Joey's death, this pushes Tommy over there because he's thinking Jason, well, he's never going to get rid of Jason in his mind. He's taking medication to stop it, but I like the way the storytelling is making him push him that much further to insanity to take on the Jason mask. So I think that was very, very well done in this movie. I thought that was where they were leading to, and it was it was cool the way they did it. I wish they could have continued that. When we get to part 6, I'll tell you where they made their turn. I do the motivation. The motivation for Roy to kill everybody there, because that being his son that he had out of wedlock or something, or not really out of wedlock. The mother died during birth. It's kind of weak for me, because when he comes up on the scene, he doesn't look like he's even worried whatsoever who it could be under there. Because if he thinks his son is there, you would assume he knew he was there. Because they show his wallet, Roy's wallet at the end. He's got a picture of his boy, basically the same age as he is in the movie. So you would think that wherever he got that from, he knew he was in one of these top places. His motivation kind of to kill everybody, he was going to kill Reggie too. I mean, the little Reggie, the Reckless. So I mean, he wanted to kill everybody there, which he pretty much did, to get revenge, because this crazy person, the guy that killed him, was gone. The guy that killed him was the one he should have got revenge on. So it was kind of a weak motivation, I think. But this is a horror film, and I did like the movie, so I mean, I'll let that go. They had some continuity issues in it. I've seen Pam running through the woods with her sweater on, then her sweater off, and then her sweater back on, then her sweater back off, and then sweater back on. So they had some continuity issues I hadn't really noticed before in this, which was strange. If you ever notice that at the end when she's running with Reckless through the woods, you notice her sweater that she's got tied on her. It disappears a lot. The movie, all in all, wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie. Like I said, it was filmed good. It had a great film look. It had good acting in it. Maybe not Academy Award, but very good, sustainable actors in it. I liked all the characters in it. Also, with the motivation of with Roy killing, for his son. I think it's very odd. At the very end of the movie, the sheriff is in the hospital and is trying to tell Pam what Roy's motivation was, and he's showing in clips, little things off Roy's wallet with a picture of his son, Joey. And also, he's flipping through there, and you see he gets out inside of the wallet newspaper clippings. And I was watching him talking about how Roy decided to kill the way he did, like Jason, because he had been kind of reading all these articles about Jason in the paper of all his killing sprees and all that. So here, where he's showing this picture, and he flips through the clippings, and all of a sudden you see a picture of Jason Voorhees with his mask on, like a photographer has took it like in the field or something, or somebody has sent a picture, or Jason has took his own selfie back in the 80s. A picture of himself, perfectly displayed. I don't know how the person survived. I don't know if it was somebody he was killing. Maybe he was a photographer and took his picture right before his death. And Jason decided not to destroy the film. Because back in these days, you didn't have you had those Instamatic cameras, but this wasn't an Instamatic picture. This was a developed picture. You didn't have a cell phone, so it could be a cell phone pic. I don't know how they got a picture of Jason to be able to show for Roy to be able to design his mask. I mean, how did that happen? How did Jason's picture get put in the newspaper? Was he just walking down the street and somebody took a picture of him and said, "Hey, there's Jason"? Because it looks like he's maybe in a public restroom in it. I don't know. It looks kind of weird. It's kind of strange. It's like he's coming around a corner or something. And daylight assumed, or at least a light from a house or something, because he's inside of a building of some sort. Or maybe he's in the woods, but I mean, I don't know if it's a hunter that came upon him and just happened to have an Instamatic camera on him, or something in the woods. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me why we have a picture of Jason. Go back and watch that scene. There is an actual picture of Jason with his mask on. It's not an artist's representation, or that's a drawing or anything like that. It's an actual picture. I don't know. Jason must be trying to get out there to meet women or something. I don't know what he was doing, because his picture was in the paper. I mean, it blows my mind. That just blowed my mind when I see that. I had to show it to Andrew. Very, very weird. But I like the way that they interwove the losing of the mind of Tommy to like the very end of it, where he's sitting laying on the bed and Jason appears to him, and he's like accepting that he is going to take on Jason. He even gets up and opens up the drawer, and he has kept the mask from Roy with the blue chevrons on it, and you see that he has decided to take on this persona as Tommy as a killer. And it could have been cool. They could have went on out with this with Tommy. It would change from Jason the name, but he would still be look just like Jason. They don't even have to say it in the movie. They could still, everybody could consider it Jason, but Tommy would be the true killer, and it could have breathed some life into it. I thought, at least at a halfway point at 5 movies, this could have pushed the next 5 into another direction. I think could have been a great starting off point, but get into part 6, we'll definitely tell you what happened with that scenario. So tell me what you think about part 5. It's kind of a cult classic because, like I said, it wasn't well received when it came out, but now people are, really, I think, really appreciate the Roy character, how he was put in this movie and why they did it, the direction and the writing and stuff. Tell me what you think. Where were you at when you watched this movie? How old were you? I'd like to hear everything about it. What's your favorite kill in this movie? They had several good kills. Like I said, they were all off screen, and the characters really were good. So tell me what character you like, what you didn't like about the movie, what you did love about the movie. I would greatly like to see a comment down in the comment section. I would really make the Bad Ravens day to get some more comments, especially if it's a marathon. We're going to be going on to part 6. So tell me what you love about part 5. So I just want to say, remember, the Bad Raven is your friend, and we appreciate everybody coming to the channel and watching our reviews. And keep on telling your friends and sharing this video. And if you haven't subscribe, and be a member of the flock. If you, even if you're not a subscriber, we consider you a member of the flock either way. But also, if you want to support, when I throw up the symbol, it's support the Bad Raven. We have a Patreon account. It's for Elite Bad Birds. If you want to give $1 a month, I will put your name at the end of the video. And I'll even send you, I haven't put this on my Patreon account, I'll even send you one of the bands that I wear that says to support the Bad Raven, check it out on YouTube. So I have a video of that, but I will send you one if you'll send me your address and stuff of where you're located. That would be a part of the EB member. I'm going to start adding that as the EB membership perk if you want to become a member. We'll put your name at the end and give you one of those bands, and you can show it to all your friends and be able to tell them about our channel. So also, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and we'll let you go. And we're going to have part 6 out pretty soon, so be looking for it. And we'll let you go, and bye.